Hello to all my friends and also lecturer 2. My name is Balisha Sofi bin Sharizan. My student ID DM022101. I will tell you guys about the objective, purpose of this risk assessment report in our site. The first thing first, to identify, enable employees to take the necessary steps to protect the safety and health of employees. Another one, the objective of this study is identify the risk inherent in the construction of the large scale project and the method used to manage those risks. Another one, how to deal with risk. Risk management method practiced in project management are such as risk containment, risk avoidance, risk transfer, and risk mitigation. The second one, the scope of this risk assessment. To assess the hazard, then eliminate the hazard or minimize its level of risk by adding the control measure. That's all. Thank you.
Hi Miss, my name is Kanaropan Ravichandran. My ID number is DEM021055. Today I am going to present about detailed risk assessment process performed during this effort. There are 5 basic steps that are taken to manage risk. The first step in the risk management process is to identify the risk that a company or business face in the production environment. Risk cannot be managed unless it's first identified. The aim to risk identification is to identify possible risks that may affect objective or of the business. In a manual environment, their risks are recorded manually. When an organization uses a risk management solution, all the information is injected directly into the system. Second step are analyzing the risk. On the risk identified, it need to be analyzed. We need to determine the level of risk. It's also important to understand the relationship between these various factors within the organization. To determine the severity of a risk, we need to know how many business actions the risk affect. In a manual risk management environment, this analysis must be performed manually.
Hi Miss, my name is Kanisha Murugan. My ID number is DEM01210005. Third steps are evaluating the risk. Risk need to be categorized and prioritized. Classification of risk is important to give an organization a complete picture of risk exposure. Comparing the level of risk found during the analysis process with previously established risk criteria. There are 2 types of risk assessment, which is qualitative and quantitative. First steps are treating the risk. Risk should be eliminated or contained as much as possible. Risk treatment is about considering options for treating risks that we not consider acceptable or tolerable. In a manual environment, this means contacting individual stakeholders and then setting up a meeting so that everyone can discuss the issue. Fifth steps are monitor and review the risk. Monitor and review are an essential and integral step in the risk management process. Monitor risk and review the effectiveness of treatment plans, strategies, and management systems that have been set up to effectively manage risk. Computers are much better at continuously monitoring risk than humans. Thank you.
Hi Miss, my name is Saran Chandran. My ID number is DAM01211055. Today I'm going to present about a technique that my group has used, providing the information regarding risk assessment. Risk assessment method vary by sector and organization, but the method we use shall be best suited to our organization process. First technique that my group used in provide the information regarding the risk assessment are quantity risk assessment. GIS operations are used to analyze, explore, and as an interaction between integrate element and the hazard footprint area of each area hazard scenario. For each element at risk, the intensity level is also recorded by the GIS overlay operation. This intensity value are used in combination with the elemental risk type of to find the corresponding vulnerability. Risk can be present in the different way depending on the purpose of the risk assessment. Second technique, event tree approach. Many dangers can occur in the chain reaction. One danger cause the next. They are also known as the domino effect to chain hazards. They are the most problematic types to analyze in multi-hazard risk assessment. The event tree is system used to analyze all combination and associate probabilities of occurrence of parameter.
Hi Miss, my name is Kanisha Murugan. My ID number is DEM01210005. Furthermore, the next technique are risk metric approach. Many part of risk assessment are not totally quantifiable or have a high degree of uncertainty, making it is impossible to establish a full numerical approach. Risk is frequently assessed using so-called risk matrices or consequent frequency matrices. They enable risk classification using expert knowledge and little quantitative data. Using classes instead of fixed values provides for more flexibility and the insertion of expert opinion in the assessment of natural hazard risk. Such methodologies have been widely used. Next steps are indicator-based approach. The process of disaster risk assessment is divided into a number of components such as hazard, exposure, vulnerability, and capacity. Data for each of these components are collected at a particular spatial level, for instance by administrative units. The resulting vulnerability, hazard, and risk result are scaled between 0 and 1. In conclusion, the four risk assessment approaches discussed in this chapter each have their own set of benefits and drawbacks. Thank you.
Hi Miss, my name is Kalaman Ravichandran. My ID number is DEM012105. Today I am going to present about which risk model metrics cognitive my groups use in classifying risk. The group choose risk metric model in classifying risk. The risk metric is a simple medicine from increasing risk valuability and supporting management decision making. Risk can be categorized as high, medium, or low depending on their probability and severity. Organizations use risk metrics to help them priority different risks and development of priority mitigation strategies. We choose this metric model because we can prioritize all risks with an understanding for the level of severity. This priority will benefit your project team and keep them on track if something goes wrong with the project. Furthermore, risk metric model can devise strategies and allocate resources for the unexpected. While it's impossible to plan for every eventuality, knowing and comprehending the risks that may arise allow you to devise solutions to deal with them. Thank you.
Hi Miss, my name is Kanisha Murugan. My ID number is DEM01210005. Then risk metric model will reduce or neutralize the impact of risk that occur. Then the unanticipated implication of a danger that isn't considered ahead of time may appear to be more severe and devastating than a risk that is discovered and addressed earlier on. The risk assessment metric is a visual depiction of the risk analysis that categorizes risk according to their probability, severity, and impact. This tool is a simple, effective approach to acquire a holistic perspective of project risk that all team members and key stakeholders can understand. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Morgan Pratap Analaki Arumugam. My ID number is DEM0121069. Today I am going to talk about conclusion of the risk assessment. The risk assessment is, since the autumn of 2010, the department has responded strongly to the public criticisms regarding the management of data. Given the importance of data management and therefore with current sensitivity even with this progress, in addition, this risk assessment has identified some overreaching risks that the review team deemed require management action, which is the absence of totally operational and tested IT continually plan exposes the department of significant risks and will end in interruption of service delivery. That's all. Thank you.